In this video, man, we have brand new WWE action figure news. We have a brand new gallery coming at you, and I didn't get this one early, so I was unable to have this up for you this morning, but at least we got you in the afternoon here, man. Let's dive right into these figures. Got some interesting things going on. We're starting off with this Amazon exclusive PLE Ultimate Edition WrestleMania Final Boss Rock. Now, this is going to be Amazon exclusive. This is something new they're doing. We do know we're getting Shawn Michaels in the Royal Rumble gear. I think the beginning of 2026 or coming rather shortly. They've already released it. It's actually up for pre-order right now, and I think it's shipping in the beginning of January. Going to be one of the first Ultimates we get through the door. But this Final Boss Rock, we're looking at a repaint. This is something we have seen pretty much before with The Rock, but it is going to be his WrestleMania gear. You get the Night 2 and Night 1 kind of combination here. Get like the same head sculpts. I'm so damn sick of this smiling head sculpt, man. We've seen this so many times. You get it's the exact same figure. They're just giving us the new clothes. One thing I will say though, I love that we're getting the Mama Rhodes weight belt. That is a great addition. I think that's a nice detail here. But this figure, I mean, it is what it is. It looks pretty good, man, on card. You know, it's a good moment. We needed this Final Boss Rock, I guess so, you know, from this specific moment. But it is pretty much just a slight variation to the first Ultimate Edition Rock, but it's not a bad figure. It's just, I don't know, it's good, but it's, I don't know, it's not a big needle mover for me. I think the Royal Rumble Shawn's a little more for me personally, but you can let me know what you think. I do like the serious head, and I do like the screaming head, but we've seen them previously. But this is a new Ultimate Edition coming to Amazon, man, but we are moving things right along. This is something that we got to get into, man. We have the WWE Elite Street Fighter Wave 2 series that is going to be Walmart and Smith's exclusive, so you UK fans can get your hands on these, but this is just a crazy set. Now, we did see these back at Comic-Con, if you guys remember, and we got to see them. We didn't get to see all of these in prototype form, but man, my God, these are crazy figures. These are just insane figures that we're looking at here, man. First of all, we do have John Cena as Guile. This is such a fun figure. I do hate that they're using the old torso for John Cena, and it is a little bit of a weird face, you know, but I mean, it is what it is, man. You gotta, it's one of these crossover lines. It's fun. You got the You Can't See Me bands. The camo pants are cool. Maybe you can make some cool things. It's going to really depend on a few different things with this figure, but I could already see me getting these boots and making like a cool Roman fix-up or something, some different cool things that you could do here with this figure. But I love the attention to detail with the hair. You know, Guile has that really specific haircut. He comes with the sunglasses. He's got the dog tags. Got the sleeveless cutoff Rise Above Hate C Nation 2012 green gear, which is cool. And then he does have the comb with the, you know, the comb and the hand sculpt, that new hand there, which is pretty cool as well, which I think this is great. But I don't know, it's a fun figure, man, and also the packaging is cool, how they kind of versus each other here. We do have Batista as Sagat as well, which is just an absurd figure, man. The scar across the chest, you have the, you know, the eye patch head sculpt. Very, very cool. Now, if the tape on this was sculpted, it would be crazy, and it's crazy because they're using like a Solo Sikoa crotch and legs, which makes me think this figure is going to be tall as hell. We'll see how it all goes. But he also comes with the blast effects. This is just one of those really fun crossovers. Now, I was never the biggest Street Fighter fan. We have a local restaurant here in Tuscaloosa where growing up they had Street Fighter, the arcade game, and that is kind of my experience. There was also an arcade growing up at the mall here that shut down years and years ago now. But when I was a kid, used to go there and play Street Fighter a lot on the arcade system. I mean, like, I played it, I liked it, but it wasn't one of those things that really, you know, I was just over the moon about. You know, it wasn't something that I was obsessed with or whatever, but it is still very, very sick. I like the crossover waves, and this Batista, the John Cena, very, very cool, man. And I think maybe even the potential winner of this set is going to be the Bianca Belair as Cammy, which is just a ridiculous figure. I mean, we're probably looking at one of the top elites right here for the women's figures. A lot of unique things going on here. You have the hat in there, very cool. She even has the blast effects as well. And this is just so cool, man. You get these really cool crossovers. I love the artwork. I love the packaging. I love the posability that you have going on here. There is just a lot of fun things here. And speaking of which, since the Bianca Belair Ultimate Edition, we really haven't seen Bianca Belair. I mean, we've gotten a couple basics here and there, but this is a really sick set. I think overall, this is a crazy set. And I like these figures a lot. Now, I know, you know, anytime you get these crossover waves, it's always one of those where you blink and you miss them, man. So if you want these and you see these in person, grab them right now. I'm just telling you, man, the Ghostbusters, they disappeared. The TMNT figures, they just disappeared. I'm telling you, if you see these out in the wild here in a few months, you better grab them. I'm just telling you right now, man. I have the experience in this area. I'm just telling you right now, you better go ahead and grab them. But that is the next figures I wanted to cover that they showed off. Now, let's get into these, man. This is, I don't know, man. I just don't know anymore with the greatest hits waves. I feel like the greatest hits waves, I have lost the plot. I don't really know anymore. We're going to get into it here. We have 4 figures, and the first one here is kind of a letdown, man. This is going to be the Collector's Edition Elite 119 John Cena as a greatest hits figure. Now, you may say, okay, well, it was sought after, and, you know, people missed it or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like that almost, and I guess you can go kind of go back and forth on this, because remember when the greatest hits first showed up, or the From the Vault and all these things, and people were like, oh, this, you know, this really devalues the original. And, you know, we kind of saw both sides. We're like, yeah, that makes sense, but we also say don't collect for value. And, you know, we also say, you know, like that we understand, you know, there's new collectors coming in and we want them to have an opportunity. But this figure just released, first of all. First of all, this figure just came out. It's not like John Cena retired 10 years ago and they're just now re-releasing it. I think that would be a lot more understandable. This figure just released. This just hit my Walmart just the other day. And so in a couple months, we're going to have another one coming out. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it, but a collector's edition Cena, like, could we not put a different shirt and hat in here or something? Just change it slightly so that at least you get a different shirt from the Last Time Is Now tour, you know what I mean? And that way you can knock out another gear, or maybe they couldn't make that happen. I don't know, man. I'm just ranting around. I'm just giving all my thoughts that come in my brain. You can let me know what you think. But another greatest hits Elite is going to be the Elite 119 Dirty Dom here. Now, I'm going to say this is a damn good Dirty Dom. I think this is a really good Elite. Spoiler, this is probably going to be in the top 25 Elites of the year. I think this is a really good figure. But again, this just released the other day. And I know that, you know, we've kind of seen this over. The greatest hits has kind of become the top picks. I don't know. The top picks has kind of become a variation wave, you know, because the top picks used to be, oh, we're going to re-release top guys, and they may or may not be repainted. But now we're getting these brand new crazy things in the top picks wave, and the greatest hits are turning into the top picks, which we've seen multiple times. There's been greatest hits LA Knight, and greatest hits Damian Priest, and greatest hits Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom been in the greatest hits like 8 times, it feels like already. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but I do like this Dirty Dom, but there's another opportunity for you to own it. And then we're also getting Elite 115 Rock here, which isn't my favorite figure. You know, it had the Muhammad Ali legs. It was very short. It just, I don't know, it missed the mark. It's a cool figure. There's some different things going on. I do like the use of this torso, but I was never a big fan of the original Elite 115 Rock figure, so this is, if you missed out on that figure, here's another opportunity. It's a good figure, and I want to, dude, what's crazy is this is a greatest hit, and I guess greatest hits is supposed to be figures that were purchased a lot, you know, that were good hits. There were figures that people bought a lot of, so that's why they're in the greatest hits line. It's just, with this figure, it was packed by itself. I'm pretty sure they shipped boxes of rocks in Elite 115. Him and CM Punk were both shipped as a separate shipping box in like 6 to 8 to a case to different Walmarts, and now it's going to be reintroduced in the greatest hits. It's just crazy the way these things work out, man. There's so many damn figures out there, man. Let's get into the last one, which is going to be the Elite Braun Breaker here. I think this is the Elite 104 Braun Breaker, which is a really, was it Elite 104? I think it was Elite 104. I could be mistaken here. Hold up. Let me Google this to make sure. It was Elite 104 Braun Breaker. Damn good figure, man. Damn good figure. Different packaging. It is a damn good Braun Breaker. And what's funny is they may have changed the skin tone. They may have given him the lighter skin tone, which I don't like. It would have been really cool if they gave him the, you remember his most recent Elite with the zebra? What if they gave him that tan? You know, you get the same Elite 104, but you change the tan to the darker tone, like the spray tan. That would have been a really easy layup, too. I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so you can just let me know what you think about that. You know, we also got some better images of the Roman Reigns and CM Punk. I'm not going to put too many images here. These, we already have reviewed these figures in full detail, so if you guys want these figures, you want to see what they look like and everything, I think that they were pretty damn good, but if you want to go check out our review from the other day, you can go check those out, but they did give us some images of those, even though we already have them in hand, but you can go check that out if you'd like. But we're also getting into Penta's first basic figure. First basic here for Penta, and this figure looks crazy. I think that this is a really good basic figure. You know, we're finally getting him in the line here, and I think this is just fantastic. I think that his Elite is better, obviously, because it is an Elite. However, I still think that this is a really good contender for one of the best basics that they're going to have in 2026. Now, this is a figure that's really cool. I remember I was sitting front row at the Royal Rumble, or right by the ramp, and I actually got to, what's cool about this figure is I got to knuckle Penta wearing this gear, so that's pretty cool at the Royal Rumble, so I think that's awesome. I think that was also my first time ever seeing Penta wrestle in person, which is really cool as well, so this is really cool. I think the blue's a bit light compared to what it was. It was very saturated in real life, but I can't remember. That's been a long time ago now, but I do like this head sculpt. Very nice sculpt. One thing I'm already thinking about is maybe, I know that, like back in the day, you used to be able to do a lot of cool stuff. You're not going to get a ton of different things here with swappability, but you may be able to put, I don't know, this head sculpt on a different Elite Penta and make a really cool fix-up depending on what gears we get and attires and accents. You may be able to make some cool things, but this basic Penta is sick as hell. Great looking basic. We also get Seth Rollins here. A lot of people blowing up these figures, talking about should have been elites. Like this Penta would have been a great elite. This Seth Rollins would have been a great elite. Still seeing the same head sculpts we've seen from Seth for a very long time now, but you get the gray, red, and black. And I like this attire a lot. Really wish we could get some new Seth Rollins head sculpts though. He does have his back tattoo. No chest hair or stomach hair, unfortunately, but it's a solid basic. Maybe you can, use the knee pads or something. I don't know, but it's a cool Seth Rollins basic. We also have Kevin Owens here, which I love. I like this head sculpt a lot. I think that's I don't think this is new. It looks very similar to his other head sculpts, but it's a solid gear. You change it up a little bit. Got the knee pads in there. Got the cool shirt. Got the Canadian shirt on there with Dusty. I think that's pretty cool. I like that big elbow pad and everything like that. And then we get another figure where people were saying that this should have been an elite. This is the WrestleMania 41 gear, Randy Orton, where he took on Joe Hendry, where it was kind of a callback to his gear from 2002 or 2003, which I think is sick. It's the the glossy blue with the yellow, and it's got the Orton font on the back. Dude, what a great attire that he rocked for WrestleMania, and they made it into a basic. Now, the basic does look good, and it's hard for basics to look good nowadays, but this basic looks really, really good. I just wish it was an elite. This would have been such a slam dunk elite to see of Randy Orton, so that was a miss. Hopefully, maybe they will make it into an elite, but that would have been an easy layup elite figure for Randy Orton. But the last figure is going to be Trish here, man. And I don't know. This head sculpt is based on her last elite. We have seen this head sculpt before. I like the gear. It's a cool gear. You get the cowboy hat and everything. You even get the the pointer finger hand, which is cool. It's just these figures, these basics, they don't have a lot of sculpt. They're very flat most of the time, especially for the women, but I do like the 25 with the Stratus on the back. It's like a solid basic, but it's just kind of ruined by the sculpt or something like that. And I also feel like the eyes look a bit weird or whatever. I don't know. That makes her look older than she actually was or is. I don't know. The basic figures are hit or miss. You either get really good or really bad. But that is Trish Stratus there in the basic line. And then we also have a look at some other basics. Now, we're getting into the top picks basics. You have LA Knight, Seth Rollins, and John Cena. This John Cena has the sculpted on hat, with the kind of You're Killing Me Smalls bill on there. Got the removable green bands, something we've seen here. I think we've seen that. No, we may not have yet. No, hold up. I want to say we've seen these bands removable on other green shirt basics, but this is kind of that Hulk attire, or I say Hulk because it's green and purple. But this is a throwback John Cena now, which is kind of vomit-inducing. I think this was in, Elite 68 or something like that, which is just nutty. And back then, we were getting painted-on bands, I do believe, so these are removable bands, so maybe you want to buy these and put that on there, but the hat's not removable, even though we've already seen this hat and shirt, but I don't know, that's just something to think about if you want to upgrade your elite. And then you have LA Knight, which is another run-of-the-mill, but I feel like all of my stores have LA Knight basics just overflowing, so I don't know about that one. It is featuring a different head sculpt here, and it is the good LA Knight head sculpt in the right tan, so maybe this one will not rot because people want to put this head sculpt on their Ultimate or their Elite LA Knights. And then we're getting this Seth Rollins basic. I don't know what it is, man. I feel like I've seen this Seth Rollins basic 752 times. We've seen this head sculpt for years and years. This is his WrestleMania 36 attire with the white and cream, I think, where he took on Kevin Owens, right, where he went through the announce table or where he jumped off the thing, which was a fun match and everything like that. It's just, I feel like I've seen this basic so many times before. So many times I've seen this basic, so I don't know. There's that wave, though. Not anything to really move the needle for me, but you do have those basics there to go along with your Penta wave. And then we also have a look at 2 or 3 kids belts. We have the United States Championship, which I do believe they've released before. You have the Undisputed Championship or the WWE Championship with the gold and black, which is cool. And then we also have a look at the Intercontinental Championship. So those are all available, but I think this one, the Intercontinental, may be updated with the blue added to the accents, so that may be new, but everything else I think we have seen before. And then last but not least here, we do have some Superstars figures. So in this Superstar wave, we are going to get Demolition, Axe, and Smash. We're also getting Crush, so all 3 of these are featured, and then you also get Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So All four of these look really good. I really like these figures. I do believe these were on display at San Diego Comic-Con. Remember, we couldn't get a good angle because they were in like that top shelf, but you're getting interchangeable heads. You're getting some nice cloth goods here in the Superstars line. I really wish I could collect the full Superstars line, man. I have been a fan of the line since the beginning. I think it's a really good set of figures. I think they're incredible. I wish I could keep up, and they just look so good up next to each other when you have the full collection there. And I guess that's what deters me is, you know, I want these certain characters, but then I don't know. I guess it's the collector in me or the mental illness. I don't know, but it's almost like, you know, you want to collect all these, and then it's like, oh, I don't want to collect it unless I can get them all. It's just, I don't know. That's just the games you play. But I like the skin tone on Jim Duggan. I also love the American face paint that we're getting there, which would be a really good From the Vault Elite to re-release is the Retro Fest, or, you know, a Greatest Hits figure would be really cool of Retro Fest Jim Duggan right there in the you know, with the shirt and the face paint. Or they didn't give it to us. They didn't give it to us in an Elite. They gave it to us in a basic. So take the face paint head sculpt and put it on that Retro Fest figure. I think that would be for a really cool Elite figure. But I think that is every single image that we have today, man. There was a lot to unpack. They had a lot of figures going on. There was a lot of reveals. Big gallery, big old gallery over there. And I'll put a link in the description below if you guys want to go look through the images yourselves. But I feel like most of this stuff we had already seen. I mean, we got the Greatest Hits revealed too. It's got better images of The Rock. You know, we got to see Penta's figure, which I think is really sweet. There's some cool stuff here, but I don't know. Let me know what you're thinking about the Greatest Hits wave. I think it's just one of those things that has been weird. I think the winners of this is the Street Fighter Elites. I just think those are incredible. I think they did a great job on those. Can't wait to finally find those. And Series 1 should be hitting, I guess, relatively soon. I mean, usually when we get these galleries, the figures hit, you know, 1 or 2 months later in terms of retail. So these should be popping up maybe right at the beginning of January, right after Christmas we'll probably see these. So that's just something to monitor there, man. But that is pretty much going to wrap it up for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'd love to know all of your thoughts on all this news down below. What are you excited for? What are you skipping? All those different things. Lots of videos coming up that I'm excited about, so you guys can get ready for that. You know, the end of the year is not too far away, so we're going to get into rankings and breaking down the worst and best of the year. But I'm getting the hell out of here, man. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you think down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.